Hello, this is Victor Cuevas. In today's video, we're going to see how fixed and fixed index annuities can be far, far superior to keeping your money in the market when it comes to your retirement, when it comes to income in retirement. And the Wall Street Journal is going to help me prove it. Stay tuned because I think you're going to like this video very, very much. Here's the Wall Street Journal article. Now, this is from the 27th July 2005. Oh, Victor, this is an old article. Yes, it is. But I wanted you to see that even going back almost 20 years, some of the top voices in the industry, not the securities world, but the educational world, have been recommending that you at least look at annuities to see if they can be better for you in retirement. So it says here, the secret to a happier retirement: friends, neighbors, and a fixed annuity. Isn't that interesting? The secret to a happier retirement, says the Wall Street Journal. And they've interviewed some doctors, professors. One of them is right here, Keith Bender, and another one. So they've got these 7 different bullet points, so to speak, from value your time, to think ahead, to expect less, pick your neighbors, and listen to this. Number 5 is buy yourself income. Now, have you ever heard of that phrase before? I want to buy myself an income. Where you can buy a car, you can buy a house, you can buy clothes. Buy income? Well, he's talking about an annuity. So he says, Professor Bender found that retirees who receive traditional company pensions are happier than those who have to rely solely on the savings they have amassed in 401k and similar retirement plans. Seniors, it seems, like the sense of security that comes with guaranteed predictable income. Well, that's just common sense, folks. I don't know of a single senior out there that wouldn't love to have a guaranteed stream of income that they can never outlive. It'll never run out. It'll never go down, no matter what. And the vast majority of people retiring don't have that because they're working with a typical financial advisor who wants to keep all their money in the market. There's no guarantees in the market. There's no guarantee that your money you won't run out of money. There's no guarantee of any kind of income in retirement. You just really have to cross your fingers and take a guess. And that's all your financial advisors do, is guess with your money when it comes to retirement. So here we go. It says, what if you don't have a traditional pension? Most seniors don't. You could always buy yourself a comparable stream of income by stashing part of your nest egg in an immediate fixed annuity that pays a lifetime income. And he goes to talk about the advantages and the drawbacks of an immediate fixed annuity. And the drawback being that if you put your money into that, it's going to provide you an income that you can outlive, but you don't have control over that money anymore. So you could make it for a period of years, that if you die during those years, it continues to pay for the duration of those years, 10, 15, 20 years. But the old way is that if you died while that thing was paying out to you, then your heirs wouldn't get any money. Well, I don't use those kinds of annuities. Not that they don't have their place. They have a very specific place if you just want a part of an income stream for a period of time while the rest of your nest egg continues to grow, which I've used those in the past. But we don't put all of anybody's money into an immediate annuity. But he also talks about not keeping up with inflation, because usually those are fixed streams of income. Well, I don't like those either. But I'm going to show you the alternative. But what I wanted to do is really for you to see this, that the Wall Street Journal with these professors say this is what seniors really want. They want a stream of income that's going to be there no matter what. especially if they don't have a pension. Now, if you go to your typical financial advisor, he's not going to tell you about that. He's going to say, well, we can't guarantee it. We've got to keep your money in the market so it can grow, because if it don't grow, you won't be able to draw out of it very long, and so forth and so on. And they don't want to tell you about fixed annuities or fixed index annuities, because the moment they take money out of your account and move it into an annuity, they lose the fees on that money. And for your typical financial advisor out there, it's all about the fees. They have to keep your money in the market, or they don't collect the fee. And that's to your detriment. They will never tell you about fixed or fixed index annuities, even if they know about them. Now, this professor didn't know a whole lot about annuities other than, hey, you can buy an income stream by putting the money into a fixed annuity that's just going to start paying you an income for life. But I'm going to show you an alternative way to use a fixed index annuity to do what you can never do, keeping your money in the market. Okay, let's set this up. You have a person that's 65 years old. His wife is 63. They're still working. He wants to retire in 5 years. He only has $500,000 in an old 401k. His current employer does not have a retirement plan. He's got about $100,000 in cash. Pretty good. They want to concentrate on getting out of debt, getting their affairs in order, so in 5 years they can pull the plug and ride off into the sunset, so to speak. So it goes to a typical financial advisor and say, yeah, we're going to try to get you as much money out over the next 5 years. And when you get to that point, we'll set up a withdrawal plan for you. And remember, you can only take 4% most out of your nest egg, or you run out of money. All the experts say, they've run every kind of scenario in the book. And if you take more than 4% out of your nest egg, you run the very likelihood of running out of money in retirement. And that's if everything goes great. A lot of people are saying 3 to 3.5% nowadays, because the market just isn't doing that well. So let's show you both ways. The traditional way with your traditional financial advisor, and using a fixed index annuity. So here we go. I've got this bankrate.com investment calculator. We've got $500,000 in here. We've got 5 years to accumulate. I'm showing a 6.5% rate of return, annual rate of return. Very generous, because the average person is paying 1.5 to 3% worth of fees, whether it's in a 401k, a bunch of mutual funds, or especially if you're with a financial advisor who collects a fee and moves your money to a third party. They're getting their fee. It gets very expensive. So after all the fees are said and done, if you can get 6.5% a year, that's good. Well, you're not going to do that. You hope to average 6.5%. And then it shows here compounding annually. We know that that's impossible in the market. There is no compounding in the market. Remember, compounding means wealth that builds on itself. You have $100,000. You earn 10% that year. Now you have $110,000. That's locked in now, and it can't go below $110,000. So now you get another 12 months. The market does another 5%. Add 5% to that. It's locked in. Now you have that amount of money. See, wealth that builds on itself. That does not happen in the market. The market goes up, down, way down, up, down. You never know where it's going to do you. It's a value increase, a value decrease. Annuities are compound interest. Very powerful. Okay, so we see that after 5 years, we hit the calculate button, and we've got $685,043. Now, if you take 4% of that, you have a grand total of $27,402 that you can use for retirement income before tax. So if you want to take another 15% away from that for taxes, now you have, or more, maybe 20, Now you have your net take-home pay. That's it. Now this couple, let's suppose they have a $48,000 a year in Social Security income between the two of them, and now they have another $27,000. So that's what they get to retire on. And this couple right now, let's say, is making $130,000, still saving money in their savings account, getting out of debt. That's where the money is going, and hoping this $500,000 is going to grow and grow and grow and provide them a nice income. So they're not going to be in the poorhouse, but a nice little income. But can they do better? Well, let's see. Okay, I have one particular annuity. There's a lot of different annuities we can use. I want you to know that these fixed index annuities can be customized for just about any kind of scenario you want, depending on the company you use. In this particular company scenario, this client wants to absolutely maximize the amount of income that $500,000 can generate over his lifetime, and he would like to have an income that actually keeps up with inflation. Now, remember in that Wall Street Journal, he was talking about not keeping up with inflation. Just it's a fixed income, but we're not going to do that. We're going to set this up for an increase in income. Now, the way increasing income works, there's a couple of different ways to work. The way I like to see them work, and the way it works in this particular product, is that the income you earn, the interest you earn, and this annuity is based on the stock market index. I'm using 3 different indexes in this particular product. So if the indexes are positive for that year, in other words, the market is positive, then that index is going to go up in value and lock in that year. Also, it has an income rider. So I don't want to get too much into the weeds, just trying to keep this video short. But when you have this type of income annuity that I'm showing here, you have a cash value to cash in the annuity and how much it grows by every year. You have the cash value, and then you have your income value. This is what I like to call your personal pension plan. The income rider is what you get to retire from, not the cash value. The income rider, because the way it's set up, it's always going to be more. And when we have an increase in the index, the value goes up. But over here in the income side, it goes up by a multiple of the index. So your income can go up quite substantially while you're waiting for retirement to come. So in this scenario, 5 years. And then when you retire with this particular product, you have an income that you retire with, and then that's never going to be less than that. But every single year that the index has a positive return, you get a pay raise in your lifetime income. Think about that. Every time there is a positive increase in the index, you get an increase in your income. Can't do that in the market. So here we go. $500,000. I've got start payout in 5 years when he's 70. I've got his wife here, 63, because we don't want to forget her. If he dies before she dies, she's going to continue to get that income. She's not going to get a drop of income of 50%. She's going to continue to get the income. We've got 3 different indexes, and I'm going to hit this quick view. And now we see here, and I'm just going to take you, I'm not going to explain all these columns because it's going to be too long. Here is the lifetime income column. Well, first of all, you see that when he goes ready to retire in 5 years, he's going to be able to take $52,453. That's, remember the last time it was what, $27,000 if I remember right? So he's got a lot more income he can take than if he'd have just left it in the market. $52,000, Now, with his, say, $48,000 a year in Social Security income between the two of them, he's almost at $100,000. Well, he's at $100,000. Now, that's a lot better retirement right there, especially if he's managed to get out of debt. All right, but let's see what happens after his income starts. Now, in this particular product, you can receive your interest every year. You can receive it every 2 years. I've chosen the 2 years because historically, you end up getting more over a 2-year period than just doing it every year. So I ran different scenarios. This come out better for the client. So you see, it starts at 52, 453, and he gets that for the first 2 years. And then we come over here. The first year, there's no interest credited because we're going on a 2-year. The second year, he gets 18%, and he gets a multiple of that added to his income. So he's at 52,453. He just jumped to 66,490. That's locked in. He can't ever be under 66,490. Well, with the other guy, the financial advisor, or the Edward Jones guy down the street, whatever, he starts out at 27,000. If he has a good return in the market, is he going to give himself a pay raise? Well, they've already factored in that we're going to give you allow you to increase your income 3% a year to keep up with inflation. Well, inflation is 8 or 9 or 10% right now. 3%. You can't factor in a 10% inflation rate or even a 7% inflation rate if you keep your money in the market. You'll burn through your money real quick. But in this case, guess what? He's just jumped up to 66,490. In the previous scenario, the client can never even dream of drawing $66,000 out of his account. Impossible. Won't be able to do it ever. Well, here we got 66,490. Add $48,000. Now look where you're at. So you go 2 years at that, and now the 2-year return, the next time is 18% over 2 years. Get a multiple of that. His income just went from 66,000 to 85,000. So he started at 42,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, he's at $85,000 a year in income. Add the 48,000, of course, Social Security goes up, and where you're at. Now he's getting well into the 6 figures. Goes another couple of years, 2 years, and you only got 0.25% return. Get a multiple of that, it's still at 85,559. Goes another couple of years, gets 7.44, right? He goes up to 94.5. You see how it goes. So by the time he hits 84, 85 years old, you're really getting up there now. He's at 237,488 possible. Now, is that guaranteed? No. But during 15 years in retirement, do you think the market is going to have positive returns most of those years? Even half of those years, at least? Sure. Every time there's a positive return in the market, he gets a pay raise. This is just based on historical returns of these indexes. Let's suppose it's not 230. Let's suppose it's 150,000, way less than the 237. He started out at 52. With the other guy, he starts out at 27. Do you think with the other guy, the securities guy, he can ever take $150,000 out of that retirement account? Never. Never, never, never. I want you to notice one other thing. See right here? Because he's taking so much money out, he runs out of money in the account. Oops. Well, guess what? He's in a fixed index annuity. Annuities have been around for 2,000 years. For 2,000 years, since the Roman days, annuities have been used for retirement. In fact, the Romans invented it to pay our pension plan to their soldiers and their government employees when they retire. Annuities have been paying out for 2,000 years. In this particular case, this annuity, even if you run out of money, will continue to pay out, not only pay out an income, but continue to give him pay raises for the rest of his life. When he gets to the ripe old age of $90,000, his annual income is $408,000. Let's suppose he ends up half of that at $200,000, which is very lowballing. Would it be better than keeping his money in the market? Let's suppose it starts out at $52,000 and never ever goes up. Do you think it's better than starting out at $27,000? How long is it going to take to hit $52,000? But we know that the market is going to do something. So we know that this income will go up every single time over a 2-year period. You can make it 1 year. Over a 2-year period that the index returns positive automatic pay raise. In contract, guaranteed. Now, you have a choice. You're looking at retirement 5, 10 years down the road. Maybe you want to retire next year. You can use the same scenario I just showed you. Kick in income the following year. Every time there's an positive index return, you get a pay raise. If you run out of money, no problem. You continue to pay raise. You want to get a guaranteed income stream you can never outlive? You want to keep full control of your money? You want to keep up with inflation? Even beat inflation? Why would you ever want to keep all of your nest egg money in the market when you can have a fixed index annuity out there specifically designed for you to do what you need it to do for you? I think it's a no-brainer myself. Anyway, I hope this has been informative. If you liked the video, please like it, share it. This is Victor Cuevas, Victor for Advice. And if you want to see how one of these can work for you, just let me know. God bless.